All right. Okay, so welcome everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how and how and where you can find open source projects and how to contribute to that to open source project and how you can increase your how you can increase the job opportunities. So before we going into that, um, let me introduce myself and what do I do about my company, Activeto. So my name is Rafna Bash. I am currently living in US, Denver, Colorado, but I'm originally from India. So I started my career as a software engineer, and I worked on various programming languages. I worked on different methodologies. I have more than 13 years of industry experience. So a long time ago, I started my career. Then I worked in I worked in India, started my career in India. Then but my company was an Australian company, so mostly I worked with Australian businesses and Australian companies. And then I promoted as an engineering manager, so I learned about the leadership skills and everything, how to manage multiple teams, how to work on remote work on the job. So I was working with various teams, multiple teams from different parts of the world, like New Zealand, Australia, UK. And so remote work, I learned how to work with remote teams on the job. And it was way before pandemic. So, I've been working, I have this experience of how to work and lead teams in management as a manager on the job. And then I moved to US. So it's a different climate, so different type of industry. I mean, even though it's tech industry, the culture, tradition, everything is different. So I started my career as a consultant where I advise or guide businesses, various businesses, organizations to understand their technology needs. Sometimes, it could be building a website or or an app, or they have a software product, but they don't know how to scale, or so. So I study about their market strategy, their growth strategy, the financial growth, and I advised them what they needed to do technologically, like whether they should build something or they should how to improve their existing products. So as a consultant, I work with the various types of industry, not just technology company. I work with government entities like law enforcement, justice department, um, and improve their softwares. And then I found a business, Actibeto. I'm the CEO and founder of Actibeto. It's an online business, online community for women to activate, relaunch, reinvent their tech careers. So at Tibeto, we provide support, guidance, and resources for women transitioning to tech industry, those who are returning to tech jobs after a career break, or women who wanted to advance their career, like grow into a leadership position instead of individual contributor. So we provide various services like education. We give access to learning platforms to upgrade their skills, experience. Like we have multiple projects that the members can work on. Opportunity where we help them to go into. Find the job, interview, give them mock interviews to prepare for the interviews. and get the job that they wanted. And then mentorship is a service that we offer to guide them, provide them an action plan how to develop their career. So if you want to learn more about me, or wanted to connect with me, or about the business Activator, you can go to our website activator.com. So if you wanted to just learn, you can schedule a discovery call with me. It's a free 30 minutes call to explain, to learn each other, and if we can help you with anything, we can provide that services to you. Or you can reach and follow me on LinkedIn or X as Rafna Bash. And if you wanted to follow Activato, you can search for Activato in LinkedIn, X, Instagram, Pinterest. We are planning to launch our Facebook page and also YouTube channel. So if you follow Activato, you can receive notifications about the services, about the classes, about the events that we are doing. So connect and follow with me on these social media platforms. So that's about us. And let's move on to open source. So before we dive into more details about it, how many of you know what is an open source? Anyone know about it? It's okay if you don't know about it. I'll go explain it to you, but just wanted to know, like, how many of you are familiar with open source projects or open source software? Yes. No one knows, or okay, it's fine. Is anybody trying to talk? Okay, yeah, I see the hands raised. I can see Naya. Am I right?
أمنية.
Omnia. Okay.
Like everything. نسيت موقف شو نقولها. أقدر أحكي بالعربي؟
Okay, you can speak in Arabic and I will translate. Fine.
يعني إنه تكون أي معلومة تخص المنتج أو الموقع أو أي شيء إحنا محتاجينه، هذا الشيء حيكون متاح للجميع، يعني حتكون معلومة ممكن أي أحد يقراها.
So she is saying that anything about a product or a project that's been open to anyone can contribute to it. So that's the idea mainly. It's an open project and anyone can contribute to it.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's pretty much it. How about you, Mariam?
Well, what I know about open source projects, it's like Arduino. The most thing I know it's about Arduino. It's like a project someone has built in it, and the source code of it has been uploaded on somewhere on server, and someone can take this code and update it to create something new or just make some update on that project.
Great. Yes, that's right. Thank you for answering the question. So yes, so you're right about what's open source. It's a software or a project with source code available for anyone to inspect, modify, enhance. So there will be someone who started the project, maybe like a group of developers, and they and they make that source code available on some platforms so others can read, can modify, can improve, or just copy and use it for some personal projects or become that. So yes, so that is exactly what is open source. So we have been using open source software for a long time, but the term open source is popular recently. For example, Google Chrome, the web browser built on Chromium, it's an open source project. Like it's an open source software. Firefox is an open source software. Various programming languages are all open source project. Linux, Android, various, these various technologies that we've been using, most of them were available online. They are an open source software or project. So by contributing to open source, what are the advantages is like you get to work with a team of other developers, like you work as a team. And these developers would mostly they are very passionate about that software or the mission of that project, like why that project or the usability. Any of these reasons, these developers are very passionate about that project. That's why they are working on it. So you work with a team of other developers who are very passionate about that project. So you can see their perspectives, different perspectives on how they are working, their thought process. So a lot to learn when you work within a team. So you get that feeling of working in a team when you contribute to an open source project. You can connect with the developers around the world, not just from your country or that team. These developers are from various parts of the world. So it's a good chance to connect with other developers in around the world. You can use contributions in open source projects to get jobs, and I'll get to that in later soon, how you can use that to your advantage to get jobs. And also in open source, you can find various types of projects. Like you can find web apps, you can find mobile apps or APIs, libraries, various type of projects. Also, you can find projects in various technologies. So, not only the technology that you are familiar with, you can learn new technologies. You can find different trending technologies projects. And so you can contribute in, you get an exposure to that. So before going into, the how to contribute, I will show you how to find open source projects. So if you go to google.com, just Google, you can search for Google Summer of Code. So this is their website, Google Summer of Code. It is a program. So if you go through to their website, you can say it is 2024 program. Contributions will be announced May 21. So you can learn about the whole thing. It's an open source. The contributors can work with the open source organization on a 12+ week programming project under the guidance of mentors. So you can see information this time. There is like more than 1,000 open source organization participating. So you do not have to participate in it to find it. What I wanted to show you, if you scroll down, you can see open source organization. So if you wanted to find what are open source projects, you can see browse all 2024 organizations. So it will take you to, this is all. So various organization that's participating in 2024 program. So Social Lab is social participation to reach million. There is Ceylon Computer Science Institute, Develop for Software for Everyone, GNOME Foundation. So you can see a different, and you can also search for artificial intelligence or web or programming languages. So if you go with web, you can find organization that uses projects to based on web. So Drupal Association, Open Transit Software, Cloud CV. Plone Foundation, and you can see like what they are doing, Python-based CMS with React frontend. And if you click on one of these organizations, you can see what their organization's website about the projects. And if you go to view ideas list, tell me if I'm going too fast, but ideas list, so you can see various ideas, and they will be sharing how to contribute to that. So see, there's like allow reliable large uploads in Volto using GUS, so skills React mostly, plus a bit of Plone and Python, and you can find more information, so you can find where this project is. Another project is RSS support in Plone 6. So these are the idea list for 2024. So if you go back to the 2024 program, you can search for all those things. But if you wanted to learn more about it or know more, like, you do not want to participate on this one, but you wanted to know where other programs are, you can see past programs. If you click on it, it will show 2023 programs. So you can see that 959 projects were completed with the 171 open source organization 2022 program 2021. So if you click on this one, 2023 program, you can see all the organizations participated in 2023. Again, you can search with various like data development tools based on that. So if you click on the past programs, again, you will see there are 2023 projects. So if you click on that, you can see how much the project details, the code. So probably this is not completed. So if you go into view code, for example, it will take you to their project goals. So you can see, I'm not sure about this one, but if it's not completed, they will be showing. So if you want a project idea, this could, one way to find a project idea. And also, like, if they have not finished it, they will be providing some kind of, I don't think it has it, but if they have not finished it, you can see where to contribute, how to contribute if they have not completed. So this is one way of finding open source projects or open source organizations. So one organization can have multiple projects, so it is a good platform to search for open source organizations and projects. And if you're interested, they are starting. So Google is starting, and it will be announced in May 1st how to participate and wanted to participate. So it's an online program focused on bringing new contributors into open source software development. So it will be a good start. Like if you are, very eager to contribute to open source project, you can start with this. So this is one platform, but another platform is GitHub, very popular. There are other platforms, but these are like, free where to find things like that. So this is my account. So if you have GitHub, if you do not have GitHub, you wanted to create an account on GitHub. So I'm not going to go detail how to use a GitHub in this session. But, if you're interested, I can do it like another session on it. But how to use GitHub is what I'm going to show you, how to find open source project. So I'm using Safari as a browser here, so the layout might be different if you're using a different browser. But what you have to look is, if you go into this little left side, or sometimes it will show on the top of here, you have to go and search for Explore. There will be an option for an Explore in your GitHub account. So if you go there, there is a dashboard that shows based on the topics you're interested, there will be projects, open source projects that will be given on the dashboard, popular on GitHub, based on the topics you start. So this is like, I have started various projects are based on that. So that is the dashboard, but you can go in here You can use like trending, anything here, but most importantly, I would go with the topics. So if you go into topics, you can see they'll say popular topics on these are the current topic popular ones projects that going on, but you can see like on based on like alphabetic order there is various projects, and then you can see popular topics. So based on like the technology that you can search for it, there is a search bar in on the top, so you can search for that. And like let's see, you can see Chrome here, Chrome extension, Clojure, various types of projects. So if I'm going to go with JavaScript, I can just search for JavaScript projects, so it will show up with all the projects that's in JavaScript. You can see the Facebook's React on it. So yeah, so this is how you can find open source projects on GitHub, and these are the easiest way to find various projects you can find out. And now let's move on to how to contribute, things to remember, what to look for in contributing open source project. So before you begin to contribute or write a code into an open source project, you will be reading a lot. You should read a lot about code, documentation, ask questions, all these things. Reading code, just like writing the code, it's very important in a very important software development skill, and it requires a lot of practice. So why I'm saying is that when you join a company, right, you are you join as a software developer in a company. Rarely, like hardly you will get a project that is very brand new, building from scratch. You mostly and most probably you will be working on an existing project. So when you work on an existing project, it's the code base is already written, somebody's already working on it, somebody who worked on it left the company, left the team, or moved to another project. So various things, like you will be reading other people's code before you write a code in a project when you join a company. So reading and understanding other people's code is very important soft skill that you required in your job if you're pursuing a job as a software developer. So for that, so to practice that reading and writing and how to contribute, pick the right code base. So what that means is you're new to the open source project, you have not contributed that much. So choosing something that is entirely new to you may not be an efficient way to go with it. Learning about new industry, new technology, new program is very great, but don't try to pick a project that has everything new to you. It is best to choose projects where you are not new to too many things at once. For example, you are very familiar with React, React JavaScript. So choose a project that is based in React, and also like you've been working on Windows system or Mac system, operating system. So choose that React project that's in Windows if you're using Windows. So choose the project that has too many things that are familiar to you, and maybe like you can choose a project that has few things, maybe like a new framework they are using in that project. So choose a project that has few things new to you, but a lot of things should be familiar to you. So in that way, you are very familiar, you can start the project, you can understand the project code base, and it is much more efficient when you are a new to open source contributor. It is very helpful to you to continue that journey. And once you pick the right code base, project, use tutorials and document to get more familiar with it, to understand the structure of the project. Read that. I mean, what I meant by is like, when you when you chose a project that is very familiar to you, you know the React, you know the operating system, you know the code, it's very tempting to just start running on it. So you should understand the project, the structure of the project first. So use the tutorials, documentation. Most of the project will have the information about what kind of what kind of documentation they are using. So read that documentation, read it, take time to read and understand the documentation, the tutorials, whatever is available, to learn why they have used that new framework that is very new to you, why they are using this tech stack, everything. Use it as a guide. That's very important when you work on an open source contributor, to understand and learn the tutorials first. So now you have the right project, the project that is more familiar to you, that has more familiar things to you. You have found out the documentation, tutorials to understand that project. You have documentation for the new things that's used in that project. Now, instead of like jumping into the code, writing the code, try to just skim through the project source code. It is a good way. To see how different developers handle different things, like naming conventions, how they have write the comments, how files are organized in that project, what type of documentation newcomers need, then how code safety is handled by different organizations. So it's very important to understand that, so that you are not making a mistake by contributing to that, because you don't know any what are the naming conventions they have used. Various teams have different styles in coding, in developing, and in communicating. Everything is different for different organizations, different teams. So it all depends on the team. So getting a big picture of that project is important. So just, you don't have to read line by line. Just go through that project source code, how they have organized, what are the things that they have used, what is the project is about, what are the next to be done. All those things to understand a big picture of that project is important. And then you run the program to see how it works. So now you have read a lot about the project, everything about it. You have a basic understanding of the theoretical understanding of that project, right? So you download the program, the source code, and run the program locally. So you can interact the project, and whatever you read so far in the tutorials and the project description, everything, and you can try and see how it works. And when you run the program, breakpoints, set the breakpoints. So if you don't know, different IDE have different way of setting breakpoints. So you can Google that around and see, like, for your IDE, how to set the breakpoints. So when you can when you set a breakpoint, what happens is, during execution, the project it pauses at different breakpoint, and so you can get understanding of how the values changed, how the flow of code have changed, what are the you can enter the value of variable things through the console before execution, what happened after execution, what happened. All these things you can learn by setting the breakpoints and running the program locally. And so you understand all the how the entire projects have done is working. So and you can change the values to find out like what happens. So because you're making all these changes locally in your computer, you do not have to worry about like messing up the code in the open source platform. So once you download and install and understood the flow of the code, like how it works and things like that, you can play around by making the program behave in a new ways. Like if it is going through in a specific way, you can change the code in a different way to see like what happens. So change the flow of the code to see that instead of producing a certain type of uh, output, you can see like I wanted to change this, instead of, say for example, a calculator, like I wanted to, instead of addition, I wanted to do the subtraction, how that works. So you can break the code and find the bug. You can do all these things by running the programs locally. And so now, so you have understood the program, right, by downloading it locally and working on it. So now you're thinking about, like, you find an issue, you found a bug, or you wanted to improve the project, right? You wanted to add some features. So you understood, you familiar, you made the changes, you worked with the code. So you're very good with you're confident about the project, now you're ready to contribute to that. So before you contribute, you need to know what are the important files in that project, so that when you contribute, you're not making a mistake again, because the open source is the developers working from around the world. So probably the same thing that you wanted to check or you wanted to make the modification, somebody else is already doing it. So you wanted to know and understand the rules of the project. So there are certain files that laid out everything about the project. So one file is README, which is an important file. So readme.md, that's the file. I can show you in here. So if I go to React, so this is the README file. So when you're contributing to an open source project, you should always read this file. This is commonly called README. You can, it's not URL file. So if you see that, you can see readme.md. So that's the file extension. This README file contains everything essential. Information you can find in this files are usually the description of the project, technology used in the project, instructions on how to install, run and use the project, how to contribute to the project, like and the project license, code of conduct, expected communication style. What that means is, like, if you wanted to ask a question, what are the ways, like, is that you ask the question through an issue or a pull request or a comment. Some projects teams will use chat services like Discord or Slack. Then there is GitHub discussion. There's different ways of communication style, so that information you can find in README. Not all of these information is available in all the projects, but information where you can find these information will also be in this README. So README file is the most important file in an open source project. So you can see here the project description is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces, what it's doing, how to install, documentations, there's table of contents, examples, contributing, code of conduct, good first issues, license, everything is relevant. And if you go to another project view, let's say it has a different README. See, it has sponsors, introduction, ecosystem, documentation, questions, issues, change. So various projects will have various information on projects. So this is an important file that before you contribute, you should be reading. Another important file is contributing.md file. That it is. This is where this file you can know the rules to follow in order to contribute to the project. The contributing guide is the contributing.md file. So the procedures and requirements for contributing will be written here. You can find in this project in here. For example, in some projects, you're required to comment on an issue before it gets assigned to you, while other projects you can assign yourself certain issues and you can start working on it. So this file, contributing.md file, serves as a contribution guide. It explains the organization's rules and expectations from contributors, like how to create an issue, how to create a pull request. Everything will be written on this one. Sometimes it will be available in README, but if it is not available in README, contributing, this is the files you can see. So let's look at this one. You can search here, so you don't have to go through that. View all files. It doesn't have a contributing file, so in README file you probably will have the information how to contribute. So contribution, see, it has an information where to find a contributing guide. So it has a contributing.md, and README has that link to that contributing file. So it will be seeing pull request, development setup, everything has been written in contributing MD file. Another important file is the license. Not all projects on GitHub are open source, and the code base is freely available for you to use. So some projects have all rights reserved tag, which means that no one can use it or modify or distribute anything in that project unless you get the permission from the owner of that project. And if you ignore that, this license, what the license is for, you might get sued for it. They will make a case against you. So look for the project license in this file, license file, to know if you can contribute or if you need permission to contribute and all. So if we go back to rules, all files, you probably see license is the file. You can find it, and it has a license, MIT license, and there is a copyright to this person, and permission is hereby granted free of charge to any person obtaining a copy of this software, associated documentation about all the, what that license is about. You can find the information. So if it's strictly say you need a permission, then you need to get a permission before you contribute or use this project for anything else. So these are the three files that you should be reading before contributing to that project. You can download it, but you should not be, based on the license. You may not be able to use it for your own purposes, but you can try it. You can download and understand the project, but that's all based on the license. You might not be able to contribute, or you might not be able to use that project on your own personal hobby projects or anything, depending on the license. And if you wanted to contribute, then you should be reading README and contributing files. So now you have everything. You have downloaded the project, you picked the right code base, you have tutorials and everything, you scanned, you understood the project, you worked on in your system, you have read all the files that's important in that project. Now let's see how to contribute. What are the things you need to know, you must know before contributing to the project or in the process of contributing. So first one is check for duplication. So let's say you install and run a project on your local machine and you found a bug, you found an issue, or you read through the documentation and find a missing step. You follow the guide, contributing guide, and you installed it and it didn't work, and so you have to you have to do something else to make it work. So that step is missing from the documentation. So, various things that you found in a project. So you wanted to fix it or address this issue to the owner of the project. And owner of the project, in terms of that, there will be owner of the project and there will be maintainers of the project. So owner will be, say, for the Chrome example, right? Google is the owner of that project, but maintainers are a team of developers or it could be one person or multiple persons. So maintainers will be a group of people or just one person who has the admin power, who has the owner, not the ownership, but has the power of controlling how that project should be contributed or how that project should be used. That person is the owner or the maintainer of the project. So you found a bug, right? Or you found a missing step in the documentation and you wanted to fix it. So before addressing this to the owner of the project, you must check if similar issue or a pull request has been raised to avoid duplication. So how do you check that? So let's go to this bow. So why you wanted to check for duplication is you can see from this in this project, right, open source project, you can see like there is information like there is 15 branches, this many people are watching, this many people are forked. And if you go to informations like contributors, you can see 364 contributors in this project. So it's a big project, right? So owner, if it's one person or a group of people, maintainers, they are working on with other 364 people in this project, right? Whatever you found, probably there is a chance that other person have found it. So owners or group of these maintenances, it's difficult for them to approve everything. They are the ones who are controlling and making sure that this is not this is already fixed or not. So they, to make their job easier, to accept your request, you do these things so that it's a guaranteed way that your contribution is added, your contribution is accepted to this project. So check for the duplication if the similar issue has been found. So how do you check it? Like there is issues and there's pull requests. Some projects won't have issues, only pull requests will be there. So if you have issues, go click on that issues here. I hope you can see, right? Issues here on top of the project, there will be issues. If you click on that, let me know if you want to see, or like, it's not, I'm going too fast at that. Yeah, so if you go here, you can see filters, issue is open. You can search for possible keywords to find duplication. So say, for example, you clicked on a button and it is not going anywhere. You found you found an error. So button, let's say button. So that is one keyword, and you can search for that is open button. So here you can see all the issues that's been addressed or that's been raised based on the button. This is one way to find, like, and you can just go through these issues. So sorry, I clicked on the issue, but this is button, I look for that. So 56 issues being opened in related to button. So you can just scan through to see, like, if the same error that you have found in the project, is it there? you can just skim through it and see, like, if it is click event is fired for invalid clicks. So that's one issue, so just look through it and see like if the same issue is being addressed here. And this is on issues. In the pull request also, you can do that. You click on pull request here, and there is like filtering option is open, and you can go with button. You can use the keywords, like if you found the error in a documentation, you can search for dogs. Like, let me show you dogs, or form. If you found the error in a form, so these are 9 issues are open in related to docs. So you can just go through this and see one of the issue is add missing comma and drop incorrect hyphen. So that's one issue in the documentation. So you can just read through and see like if the same issue that you found is there. If it is not there, address this. That is one of the issue that you have to address it. So if it's already there, you do not have it, raise it again because it's already listed there. So now you have found, you look for the duplication. Now ask for permission before working on an issue. This is very important because sometimes if you do not ask, they won't accept your issue. They won't accept your request. So it's important that you should be asking. So sometimes it will be, in the contribution guide, they will be saying that if you need to ask or not. Sometimes it will say, if you found an issue, assign it to yourself and can work on it. In the contributing guide, in the README or in the contributing guide, it will be stated what to do if you found an issue or if you wanted to work on an issue. So otherwise you ask permission. So if you if you start working on an issue without getting permission, then even if that issue is there, they might not accept your issue because you didn't ask for permission. So different project owners have different rules. So make sure that you're following that issue so that you're not wasting your time or you get disappointed when they reject your issue or your pull request, right? Not all the time it's because this is not valid, like you did something wrong, they reject you, they ignore you. Sometimes like somebody might have reached before you about like, can I start working on this issue, like that. Or sometimes it is not their priority at the moment, so they do not want you to work on that issue at this point. So there will be always a reason for rejecting your request. So it's always good to ask permission before starting, or you can start working. If you do not want to contribute, you can start fixing it. You can work on your own locally, you can fix that issue. But if you wanted to contribute, ask before before you start working on it. And when you ask the question, before you ask, again, before you ask the permission, it's a good practice to check few things. Like you should check if it's already been assigned. So if you look at the issues here, you can see that there's 356 issues that's open, and you found that I can work on this. You'll see that using V, show, and style display blocks simultaneously does not yield the expected result in version. So you would like to work on this. You wanted to fix that issue. So before you ask whether I can work on this issue, you should check that if it is assigned to someone. So how do you do that? There is this column, assignee. So in here, if you look at this, I don't see assignee column is filled. So these are the issues that they have not assigned to anyone. But let me see if I can find assignee anywhere. This is closed ones. Okay, in this project, I don't see they have assigned or they have followed that rule, but some other projects you could see, probably you could see that. Topics, maybe like Bootstrap, let's see if they have something like that. Bootstrap 5 issues, assignee. I don't see any assignees here. Let me see closed ones. Probably somebody assigned someone and I don't see any assignee. Anyway, so just look at assignees. Some projects will have assignees, assignee, they have assigned someone to you. So if you click on it, assigned to nobody, there will be people who are contributing listed here. So this project we can assign to ourselves. So that's why, like, if I wanted to work on it, I can just assign this. I ticked on this, I clicked on this, and then I assign to myself. I can do that here. But yes, so this is what you have to look on to see, like, if there is anyone working on this issue at this point. And also, like, you check the comments thread. So this is the issue that I wanted to work on. So I click on this and I can see they have written anything, and there is like comment session. So here there's no one comments. So let me find an issue that has a comment. So I can see here somebody has, so this is an issue, somebody has raised it, and you can see comments here. Bug reports must include a live demo of the issues, so you read through the comments. This is to see that if someone already has asked the owner to assign the issue to them, if they have not gotten a response, then the owner has probably not seen also other information to understand more about the issue, like, so from here it is saying that a live demo of the issue is needed. So so if you are putting a bug report, then this comment says that you have to put a live demo of that issue. So you can learn other information about how to contribute or how to fix this issue from reading the comments here on the issue. And if you wanted to ask, you can ask here. So add a comment. So you can ask here by your question, and you can even if like in certain issues that it's been assigned to someone and it's not worked on recently, it's been staying like that for a while, then you can ask like, hey, I've seen that this issue has been assigned but not active for a while. Can I work on this issue? You can ask that, and you can use at simple here, at simple. So it will show the owners that or the maintainers of this project, and you can tag them to let them know that you have added. It's not necessary. You can add a comment and they will be able to see it. But when you use the it will just tag or notify the owners or the maintainers that someone has commented on this issue. So it's help them to address that quickly instead of like waiting for a long time. So this is how you find out the issue. This is how you ask the question. And now if you good first issue label for beginners. So let's look at like this is the issue that you do not want to work on. You see the lot of issues and you're not sure like what kind of issue that you have to work on, and you're very new to So in that case, there is a label. So here, if you go into the issues session, there is a label. And if you click on the drop-down list, you can see different tags. So labels are tags that gives information about the type or status of an issue or a pull request. So a good first issue is a label considered appropriate for beginners by the project's owner or maintainer. When they look at it, they'll see that, hey, this is a good issue for a beginner. So you can look for good first issue. I'm trying to see if this has a good first issue. I don't see it. Probably a closed one. You can see to give you, maybe like I can search for good first issue. No, so this project doesn't have that. But you can, most of the project will have one or two good first issue label, so you can start that. That means that if you're a very new beginner, you can work on that issue. It is assigned for someone who's beginner. So when you get more confidence, you've been contributing to open source project, please don't use that issue as a expert, or like a person who are more experienced. Please don't work on that issue. Also, like you found out an issue, right? You found an issue that button is not working, and you think that it is a good, a beginner can do that, how to solve it. Then you can inform that to the owner and get permission to tag it as a good first issue. And if you are more experienced, you are very confident, don't work on it. Leave it to others who are beginners that can work on it. So most of the time, good first issue is something that you can easily find out, can start on a project. Let me see if we can find something that is a good first issue. API. Let's see. You can search good first issue, and there is no good first issue in here. But you can see the tags, different tags, like that says that what is needs discussion. So this is tagged as need discussion. So if you go to, let me see, if you go to some projects that are built by, let me see, JavaScript. No. Anyway,
I think
so
it says first timers only, so I think this.
oh yeah.
Oh
yes, yeah, first timers only. Yeah, so usually good first issue is the label that gives, but they have used first timers only. Yeah, so this tag will help. You can just go through the list of tags to labels to understand what kind of they help wanted, invalid, new English course, or new JavaScript course, kind of thing, decade, platform, API, contribute. So different things from the labels, you can kind of understand that what would be the best label to look for. So here, first timers only is the tag that they have used. So you can just search by that. And so you can see that there's 3 issues open as a first timers only. So you can start working on that. So that's one way of finding what kind of issue that you wanted to work. And next is good communication and patience. This is important because, as I showed you, there is like a lot of people working on this, like 8,000 people watching on it. There's 5 branches. And if you look at the contributors, a lot of people here, 4,000 people are contributing to this project. So it's a huge project. So the maintainers, the owner, won't be available always, to read for your comments or your issue request and everything. So they are handling 4,000 members on this project itself, right? So they're always busy. So, always use so that everyone feels you are a good contributor. It's the impression through the words is what how you're showcasing your skill set, right? You are a good team member. So always use clear and polite words to communicate with the maintainers and also like other contributors. So if you need clarification, ask the maintainers. Please don't assume that it could be like this, so let me work on this, like that. Just ask clarification that this is what I understood. Can I work on this? Or like, this is what I'm going to do. Can I do that? So ask permissions. Ask questions about if you have any doubt or anything that you wanted to understand about the issue that you're working on or the project. And you can and also, like, how you ask the questions, it would be there in the contribution guide. Some people use GitHub discussions. So I didn't show you where the discussions. It doesn't have a discussion, so let me go back to the another. So various projects use okay, let's see, React has that. There's no discussions here too. So usually in top of here you can find discussions. Let's see, project-based learning, probably. See, here there is a discussion tag. So if you click on it, you can see various people have asked questions or they're discussing about the various topics. So you can start new discussions here. Again, like, is this the way that you ask question? It will be there in their README or contributing guide about how to ask this question, like, whether you should be using issues. You can start like new issue here, like that, or pull request. Is that like pull request, you have to ask questions, or whether the discussion, and so read the contribution guide to find out the where to ask these questions you have. Some people use Slack, Discord, some chat services. Some projects use that, and ask these questions through the, based on the contributing guide they have mentioned. Use those tools to do that. And sometimes, when you ask questions, or when you request, create a new issue and ask for the approval, sometimes the maintainer or the owner may ask you something, like maybe like fix something in the pull request, or ask for clarifications to you, saying that explain the solution, like something like that. So don't take it personally, like, if they are not addressing to you back in a long explanatory way, like, they use some short straightforward sentence like, hey, explain the situation for me, something like that, because they are handling, as I shown you, like, depending on the project, like, there will be 4,000 contributors, and they are asking these questions or trying to understand various people, these 4,000 developers thought process, right? So probably they won't be as polite as you, but don't take it personally. It's because most of these owners or maintainers are volunteers. So be patient with them, and don't ask them to respond back immediately to your question, or don't ask them to merge your pull request immediately, unless it is something like, a code breaking thing, like, you found out that it will be, the project will be breaking in, or won't work if you don't fix that issue, something like that. So you should tag that it's very important in that way. You should explain why that is important and need an urgent attention from the maintainers. But otherwise, just just be polite, and use the good communication ways. So now you have understood, like, what to do as permission, clarification question and everything, and you found the issue that you wanted to work on. So you need to write the issue and pull request in a structured way, because these are the people from around the world. So if you are using your own style, they might not understand what's going on. So in order to understand easily, make things easier for others, and also like get approval on these things faster, you have to follow a structure. Some organizations provide templates for opening an issue or creating a pull request. They will provide a template. If they don't, in the project, they do not have a template, you have to write the issue or pull request in a structured manner. This will help the maintainers to review and merge the pull request faster, get accepted into that project easy, faster for you too. So if they do not put have a template, how do you write in a structured way? So for an issue, use clear and descriptive title. This will help everyone to understand the issue, even the other contributors, not just the maintainers. Other contributors who read the issue can understand easily if you use clear and descriptive title. And also include a description, that include the description, like what is it about. Say, I'll use an example to understand, like, say, you clicked on a page, say about page. You clicked on the about page button, and it leads to an error page 404, right? So it's an error, right? So you have to fix that issue. So the title should be, the fix is, what is the issue? Issue is linked to the about page, goes to 404. Or error. Say it clear, the title should be like that. So anyone who read that understand that when you click on the about page, it is going to an error page. Include the description, that you search for similar issues and could not find any. This is important, like, because somebody, maintainers always have to look for whether this issue has been raised initially by someone else, and so they wanted to make sure that they are not repeating it twice. So the description say something like, when I went to about page, when I clicked on the link to the about page, I got a 404. I have searched for this issue on the issue list, open issue list, and did not find any similar issues. So if you put that in the description, it's very easier for the maintainer to understand. They do not have to check for duplications, anything. They just right away accept your issue. And describe the issue as straightforward as possible. Like, as I said, like, when I clicked on the about page, it is going to a 404. So describe it and what you did. Describe the expected behavior, actual behavior of the issue. So expected behavior is, we should see, when I click on the about page, I should be seeing the about section when we go to that about page, right? But actual behavior is, when we go to the about page, we see a 404 page. So expected behavior, actual behavior. So it's very clear, like, what's the issue is about. And also describe how to reproduce the problem. So what that means is, like, how you got the problem. So probably, like, when you click directly on an about page, it is coming to the about section. But if you say, for example, you are in a say contact page, and when you click on the contact page, you are on the contact page, and from the contact page, if you go to about page, it is going to a lead page. So how you got that problem, what did you do to find that problem? Like, when you click on the about page directly, there's no issue. But when you go to contact page and come back, click on the link back, something like that, go to the load. So how you found that issue, and also like how another person can find that problem. So what are the steps needed to reach the problem? So this is helpful for another person, like the owner or the maintainer, go through the same steps as you and test it out if they are getting the problem. So like, sometimes it's your system, something is some version is not, you have not updated some version of the framework or library you are using the project, so that's why you are getting the problem. So if somebody else is going through the exact same situation, like contact page, from that they click on the about page, they probably not getting that error. So it could be your problem, or it could be the issue of the project, right? So you need to say them how did you get that? What are the steps to reproduce that problem? Like go to the website and click on the contact page and click on the about tab. You will see the 404. So other person can do the same and see if they have that problem, and provide screenshots or screen recordings if possible. That is the best way to explain what you're seeing. It is most beneficial for UI issues, but it is always like, if possible, provide a screenshot so they better understand it. So sometimes when you write the issue, the communication might not be clear. So to avoid that, it's always good to have, it's not a necessary thing, but if it's possible, include the screenshots. And also, like, if you have a solution in mind, suggest that too. It's not, again, it's not a requirement, but if you think that how to fix this issue, right? Correct link, provide the correct link. Something like that would work as a solution. So suggest that. So as I said, like first time beginner who are reading that issue, like, oh, okay, I can fix this issue like that. So suggest, it's not a requirement again, but it's easier. If you have a solution in mind, just provide that too. And it shows your skill set. You can fix this problem like that. You understand how to fix it. So this is about creating issues. You found the bug and how to create that issue and address it to the owner. But if you are creating a pull request, again, there will be for the pull request, there will be a template. If there is no template, this is the format that you have to use. Like, use short, clear, informative title. For example, in the same example that we used to create the issue, you can say the title as fix, as link to the about page as the fix that you have done. On the pull request as a title. Use a clear description of the fix. The issue, the descriptions, this pull request fixes the link to about page that previously went to a 404 page. So clear description of what you have done. Include a link to the issue. So when I say link to the issue, if you go to the issues here, you can see the number, the issue. So learning question issue has a number 552. So if you're fixing this issue in the pull request, you mention that issue, fix the issue number 552. So use that, provide that. So it's easier for the maintainer to understand, oh, what was the issue? If they wanted to go back to and read the issue in detail, they can find it easily there. And somebody else is finding the issue here. And if they go to the pull request and see that, oh, it has already been fixed, somebody has already been fixed, there is a pull request associated with that issue. So that is and again, provide screenshots, screen recording, showing that the issue before and after the fix. This is how it goes. Like, the screenshot about 404 page and screenshot about, like, to the about section. It's going to the about section. So yeah, so these are some of the things to write an issue. So I'll show you. I'm not sure every project would have, but if you go to click on the new issue, see, they have provided a template. So if it's a bug report, you can use this template. If your feature or enhancement and improvement that you're doing, you can use this template. So bug report, see, there's already a template is provided saying add a title. So you can add a title, and they are saying the template, provide a general summary of the issue, expected behavior, current behavior, possible solution, steps to reproduce, context, that's optional. So you can use this format. They have provided a template. If they have not provided the template, use these methods, use these things to create an issue or a pull request. So I hope you have understood how to, now you learn how to create an issue, you learned how to pull request. So I hope you understood how to contribute to open source project. So this is the best, so far what I have explained to you is finding a project, download it, understand the documents and everything, and then you work on an issue, you find some issue, you work on that code, execute, fix it, and pull back to the open source platform where the owner can accept and merge your pull request and fix that issue in the project, right? So anyone who work on that, who use that project, can see your fix too. So you contributed, right? But there are other non-coding ways. If you are like, you wanted to just to play around, or you wanted to just to start with the non-coding way because you're just learning the coding, so you do not feel confident how to code yet. There are non-coding ways that you can contribute to open source project. So one thing is like opening an issue when see a bug or room for improvement. As I showed you before, how to create an issue. Like you found an issue, as I said, like, you found a missing step in a documentation. So you wanted to inform the owner of the project saying that, hey, there is a problem in the documentation. So create opening issue. So it's just writing the issue. You do not have to work on that issue. So here in the issues, if you go through it, you can see learning question. It's an issue. Nobody is working on it. If you click on it, it's just an issue. I saw a JS to-do list project, and only thing it says is append the code in file without any explanation about specific code of line. See, they have just opened an issue. This person is not working on this issue. Nobody is assigned. No one has labeled yet. Nothing is mentioned about it. So this is one way. You found an issue, you open an issue. So that's one way of contributing in a non-coding way to an open source project. Then you can do review issues and pull requests. So what that means is like you can review this, and if you see pull request saying something like that's been fixed, or somebody's working on, or somebody, as I said before, somebody is assigned on an issue and not working on it. So you can review saying that it's been assigned to someone, but it's not working. So it can, de-assign the issue. You can review the issue and say that nobody's working on this, but it is under another person's name. So we can remove that person's as a name. So it go back into non-assignee issue, something like that. You can review an issue, an open request, and comments about it. Like you can, there's a comment in this one. So you can say reviewed 3 weeks ago. See, somebody has reviewed this 3 weeks ago and maybe updated, maybe add more things to it. So that's another way to contribute in a non-coding way. Another way is improving projects documentation. So just like go to README and read it, and you see something, it's not written in the best way. So you can suggest a documentation, instead of going by language, you can go by project based. You can update the table of contents based on projects, or instead of like, the language is it written. So improve, if you find that, better way to document this project, do that. That's another non-coding way. Another way is answer questions. So what that means is like, you go into issues or discussions page, right? And somebody is asking about contributing, and you click on it, and hey guys, can I add a project I made but was actually a challenge given from front end Menroad? So you can try raising it as an issue, or rather make a pull request. You can try answering if it's a general question. If it's related, like, about the contributing, about like, specific issue or something like that, you can ask the owner, can I answer this? Or how do you answer it? Or read the contributing guide and understand that, oh, this person is asking about something that mentioned in the contributing guide. So you can answer that, check out the contributing guide. Here it says that, how to contribute or how to use this. So you can answer the questions like that. So that's another way. Involving discussions on ideas around the project. So what that means is, again, about the discussion. So sometimes the topic, sometimes though, you can see, if you go to the discussions, you can see that some people are discussing about various, how to improve the project, various ways so you can participate in that. Sorry, you can participate in the discussion about, you have some idea, hey, how about adding this to the project, adding that to the project, or do something about the documentation. So you can involve in the discussions on that. Another way is onboarding new contributors. So this is more of like being another contributor, active contributor. So onboarding new contributors, there may be some rules how to see how to involve in a project, right? So this, you need a permission from the owners of the project, saying that, hey, I would like actively participate in it, but I don't know how I'm not confident enough to code. So how can I help you in a non-coding way? So sometimes they will assign you, hey, can you guide the new contributors how to onboard into this project? Like, what are the things that you need to install, and how to work on this project? Like, once you find an issue, you do not have to ask permission, you can assign to yourself. So how do you do that? So all this, various rules that's been followed by different project maintainers, they have different ways to onboard. So you can participate in it, you can reach out and be an active contributor to that project by onboarding new contributors, guide them to that. Again, mentoring or guiding other contributors. So this means, like, somebody use the issue to ask question. So there is a discussion channel that you can ask question. You do not use issue to ask question. You can use the discussion session. So somebody would not know it. They might not read the contributing guide. So if it's not in the contributing guide, you can add that to the contributing guide. Otherwise, you can say that, hey, delete this issue. You don't ask this question here. You can use the discussion chat here. Like that. So guide the other contributors if they are doing something else, like, that's not supposed to do in a project. You can be that. Writing a blog post or creating a video of the project. Again, if you are interested in writing something, you can create a blog post about the project. This is the project that I found. These are the links to the project, and this is what's interesting to me. This is what's not. It is a good feature, or this is the ideas that I think about this project. There's something about the blog. You can write the blog post. Also, you can promote the project on social social media so that this project gets more contributors, this gets attracted. If you have like, you know how to, you're a very active social media person, you can talk about various projects on the as an open source project. So it attracts more contributors. So these are some of the non-coding ways. If you're not feeling comfortable in coding, you contribute to open source by various, these are few methods you can use. Now how we increase job opportunities. Okay, so now you know how to contribute to the open source, how you can find the projects and everything, right? So how you can increase your job chances. So there's no easy way to get a job. You have to work. So to get a job, you want to build your skill set. So you join She Codes too, so you're learning, you're building your skill set, right? By contributing. So as I said, if you are you go to explore session, and then you go to the topics, and based on the skill set that you have, how to work in JavaScript, or how is CSS, or Python, HTML. So you have learned Python. Now you wanted to build that Python skill. So you go into Python projects list and find out the projects that's been out there, and use that project, contribute that project, find out the good first issue, find out how to contribute it, and contribute it. And non-coding ways too. So you building non-coding ways also showing that you are actively mentoring other person, you are actively participating, you are improving the project. So you're improving your project documentation skill, you're reading it, you're reading, you can review other people's code, you can understand that. So those are the skill set that you are practicing, and you are making it stronger by contributing to these projects, open source projects. So you're building your skill set to get your chances, to increase your chances of getting a job. Now you build your skill set, you're practicing by contributing onto this open source project. But another thing that you needed to get a job is building your network. So network means connecting with other people. So there's like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, there's a lot of platforms, social media platform that you can connected with other similar people. You can go to tech events, like online events. There's a lot of, like, since pandemic, we have a lot of online events, tech events. So go and attend those events and connect with people who are working in this industry, or whichever company that you wanted to work on, get the job, connect with the people working in there, ask about questions about like the culture, if there is any opening, how they are interviewing process, various things. You can connect with these people. So build your network. So how you build your network in open source project is like, if you look into this project, you can see where is the contributors. You can see contributors like this have 400 contributors. So these are all people. If you click on somebody else's, let's see, one of the he failed the Turing test, so he will be saying where he works. He or she will be saying where the achievements, where they work, what are the things that they are working, their LinkedIn connection, and the projects they have done. So here they're showing the contribution. So this person is a strong contributor to open source. You can see from his the green lights here, and the projects they are working on. So you can find the projects, and also you follow this person, so you can get the what this person is working on, and you both are working on this project, right? What is this project is about? So just click on the random project. Awesome, Python. Okay, so this is the project that you both are working on. So you're building your network there by following that person, and maybe like use the chat to discuss, to talk with that person about the issue or those issue that he's working on or you are working on. Ask questions. Maybe you can directly have a chat with them. So build your network like that, and so and just networking, not just build your reputation also through open source projects. So how you do that is building, say for example, so we met today, right? I know some of your names. I can remember all of your names. You are following me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and I know you from She Codes too, but I don't know your reputation, what kind of skill set you have, because we just met, right? And we have few conversation, but I have not seen your work. So if you ask me to refer to some jobs, I might hesitate because I don't know your skill set, your reputation. So you need to showcase your reputation by by creating this open source platform, GitHub, or contributing to various open source projects, and you can put those projects in your resume, and also like links to these projects that you worked on. So when you ask me to refer to some jobs that that I posted, or some, I announced, or something I am hiring, or something like that, I can go and look into your contributions on open source, and for this person, you can right. So the person that we looked here, right? So if you go to that person's, I can see that these are the projects that you have worked on from your GitHub profile, right? And these are the achievements that you have. There's so many badges when you constantly work on open source projects. There are so many badges, and I can see that you have contributed to a lot. This is the contribution to last year. So this is your reputation, that this person, I know, like, oh, this person have worked on so many projects, and these projects will show, see, TypeScript, these are the projects on TypeScript. So I am having a reputation about this project, this person saying that, oh, he's a contributor on a Python project, and he also have contributed to TypeScript. So he has a build set of skill sets of Python, TypeScript. So I can refer this person and showcasing this reputation. So this is how you build your skill set, build your network, build your reputation on an open source project and contributing to an open source project. And this will increase your chances of getting a job, because you do not have to need another person give you a referral. I mean, you can use that also, that's also helpful. But if there is no one to refer you, this shows, the open source contribution shows your reputation, your skill set, your strength, and so nobody's needed to recommend you. This shows the proof is here. So this is how you increase your job opportunities, by contributing to open source project. So I think that's all I have. If you have any questions, please ask me. I also have few links to share with you. So if you wanted to learn how to, about GitHub, the Git commands and all, I have few links. I can share that with you. But yes, other than that, ask me if you have any questions.
So thank you so much for the amazing lecture, in my opinion. This has been very informative, and I would love to, if one day we could do a whole hands-on workshop where we can work on a good first issue, all of us, and think about it and just, get to work. So this will be really useful. I really hope we could do that. So yeah, anyone has a question? Sora.
Hi, how are
Hi.
you?
Good.
I just have one question.
Yep.
As a beginner, should I target the big companies, like the big projects, or should I target the small ones that I have more chance to be accepted to fix the issues, or to like local projects?
I mean, there is no distinction, honestly. It depends on the issue that you're raising. I mean, like if you're choosing Good Fest issue, how active that community is, it depends on that, how much easier or quicker you will be get accepted. The important thing is when you contribute and when you create and when you put a pull request, that already shows in your profile. So let me see if I can let me share. Okay, there's my GitHub. Okay, so if you go to my repositories, okay, so here this is my dashboard, or where you can see my, so all, even if it's like a simple thing. So this one only I have a readme, just a readme, and this was a project that I was taking a class on someone. So just HTML CSS page was added to this, but so it's a simple thing I have done, and it's already in my profile. So when you go and put a review, pull request, or even if update readme, that will show on your profile. So let me click on my profile too. So here it will show that that you contributed or not. And another thing that you can do, I forgot to say that, but if you go to a project and okay, so I'm just clicking a random project, and if you go to that project and for issues, let me see. Where can I fork? Yes, fork. So I hope you can see here. So if you fork this project, so when you click on the fork, it will say whether I have to, it should copy everything and create a fork. That means when I go to, if I fork this, when I click on my projects, it will show that you forked. See, I have forked this project. So it will show the entire project will appear in your dashboard, in your profile. So whatever you do in your, when you start contributing, even if it's a small thing or a big thing, it will show in your profile. So important thing to showcase your skill set to get a job is like whatever you contributed. And so again, to answer your question, it depends on the community. If the community is very active, they are constantly looking into the issues, then it will get easily accepted. But if it is like a, even if it's a small project or something like that, they are not active, it will take some time to accept, because as I said, like they are all volunteers. So they will be active. Like if this is the only thing that they are doing, they will be very active. And if it is like, once in a while checking thing, then it will take some time to get accepted. To increase your chances, go for a big company, to showcase that you have contributed to a big company's some project. So that means that showcase one thing is like you understood the entire project. So that's why I said, like, in the first time, pick the right codes and scan, reading is important, so to understand. So if you are say for example, you're applying to a company and you're showcasing that I have worked on Google's this project, Chrome's project, right? So when you say that, the interviewer or the potential company that's hiring manager is thinking that you understood how Chrome works because you have contributed to the Chromes, right? So you understood the whole project. That's why you're contributing. So they will be asking questions based on that. So that's one thing that you should be careful when you say that you contributed to a big company's project. But there is no wrong in it. You can go for that. And also, like in terms of interviews, it would be good to showcase the small projects so you can explain everything about that project instead of going for a Chrome. You know what I mean? So if it is like a small project, building a calculator, I'm just giving an example. So you can explain everything about that project to the interviewer because it's a small project, small companies projects, and small feature that you have participated to work on. So it will be easier for you to explain in an interview instead of like explaining the Chrome, how you have worked on a Chrome extension feature or something like that. Did I answer your question?
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Does anyone have any other question?
Okay, I think we have reached the end of our lecture today. We're kind of a bit also tight on time. It's 9 p.m. here, so
Yeah.
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 And it's
sorry.
11 or I think it's 12 p.m.
It's 12
Yeah.
p.m. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
getting
so we
near one.
started the lecture early in your time, so that must be
Yeah. Let me put the links to some of the course.
sure.
You can check, try following those. These are good beginner level courses on Git to how to use Git. So, you can try whenever you get time to learn it, get started with it. We can do Git based some projects or something like that. So these are some of the starting tools or starting tutorials that you can use if you're interested in open source contribution. So yeah, and I wanted to say currently I will be announcing, there are some courses. So there is some building a web application using Python and JavaScript. That's a course that's been coming, not a course, like it's an event, recurring event that we focus on HTML, CSS, then focus on project-based learning. So we'll focus on an idea. So that I saw Donate produce, that's one of the project that we've been working on. So we'll give you an idea and then we'll go through certain topics like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then Python, then SQL, whatever needed to build that idea into a project. And we'll do that as a course. And so if anyone wanted to participate in that, I'll send the links to Aya. So, you can focus. So it's a project. So we'll teach you the basics of it. And then you will be working on your own on that project, and then will be a GitHub page that you can contribute to that project, everything from scratch, like the documentation, how to contribute, everything you have to do it. So it will be a teamwork that whoever interested in that can contribute to. So you will learn contributing to open source by that too, and also you will have by end of that series of workshop, you will have a project in your hand that's working according to your imagination. We'll give you only the idea, then you have to discuss and put the requirements, everything about like a software development. We'll be practicing that soon. So when I do that, I'll send that link to Aya, and probably the timing would be a difficult thing. But yes, if you can join, you can try to join and you can learn that too.
Yes, that would be very useful. Thank you so much. Your contributions are very, very appreciated, and of course, we'll be there for the course. We'll be happy to actually. It's one of the things that we really need more in this program, just more practicing overall. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for your time. Thank you girls for your
Thank
time today. Thank you, Rafna, for
Yeah.
joining us. Hope to see you soon again, very soon. And thanks for your time always.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm very happy to partner again and bring more projects or learning courses or anything that you might need. I'm happy to help. So, and thank you, ladies, girls, to join today and listening to me. I know it's a lot of information. Hope you understood or. Feel free to reach out to me if you want, if you didn't get anything like or wanted to know more. I'm happy to help you.
Of course.
Thank you. It
Thank
was
you.
a lovely information to know.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys. Let's go reactions and then we can leave. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.